I can't see the back of my head. I don't know what's going on back there. Hey, hi, welcome, what's goody? Welcome to my channel. If you're new, my name's Meech. If you're a returning subscriber, grateful to have you here. Thanks for sticking around. For those of you who are OGs, you might know. If you're new here, you probably won't. Maybe you do. But October 1st, 2021 marked 3 years of me having my lovely, luxurious, thick, luscious, ombre, any other adjectives? Anyway, it's marked 3 years since I've had my locks, and I did a 2-year video, which was like a visual journey. I had videos, I had pictures. I kind of spoke through each stage of my locks, right from me actually starting my journey and up to and including me reaching 2 years. And that video did really well. It's still gaining numbers. I feel like a lot of people gravitate to my channel from that video and subscribe from that video. So I thought it was only right for me to do a 3-year video. So if you're interested in finding out how the last year of my lock journey has been, then definitely stay tuned. I'm gonna put pictures, videos similar to like my 2-year journey on the side here. However, it's gonna be slightly different. I feel like for this video, I kind of wanted to talk about just the changes that I noticed, anything that was pretty much a milestone for me during the last year. I took quite a few pictures. Obviously, I've got a lot of videos with like hair tutorials and stuff that I've done in the last year, since I've only been on YouTube for just over a year. So there are like lots of videos and you can probably kind of get a feel for how my hair's been over the last year. But of course, I feel like in a lock journey, a lot of things happen. You might notice that like something that maybe was very different from like your first year or your second year, you're now kind of noticing it in your 3rd year. And just like you might change up your routine and just certain things that you actually do to your locks. So I thought it would be beneficial for me to kind of talk about that. I think the main thing, or the first thing I kind of wanted to touch on that I noticed over the last year, was that my length really came through this year. Like, I'm shocked every single day when I look back at pictures from 2020 of like my locks. Even as recent as February this year, I noticed that my locks weren't actually super long. They were probably about like here, and I feel like they've just grown excessively, and I'm not complaining. Like, they've just grown so much over the last 6 months even. One thing I definitely did this year was try more updos. I also tried experimenting with extensions. I just felt like because I had much more length, it would be easier to kind of like, you know, like braid and tuck it away. Doing updos as well, using like less pins, and I definitely have been doing so many more ponytails. Like, I rarely these days wear my hair down just because I find I get so hot. If you have long hair, locks, curly hair, just long hair in general, you'll probably relate. But like having hair like consistently like on your shoulders, like on your back, especially when you're already kind of like feeling warm or hot, is just the worst feeling ever. Like, I am consistently like doing this or like tying my hair up just to kind of get it off my shoulders so that I can breathe and get some fresh air. I find that they're just really hot these days. I have a lot of videos on my YouTube channel. I'll link them up here in the description box as well, just of like all the styles I've been trying to recreate. Updos just felt naturally like something I wanted to try. I don't usually like them, but I got like one really nice style by my loctician, and it kind of just started the whole updo phase, should I say, and I've kind of just not stopped. Another thing that was different for this last year of my journey was I obviously moved back to Toronto. I don't have a loctician in Canada at all. I did use one when I first lived here in 2019, but I wasn't a fan, and I'm just like a really big believer on like energy and like people kind of like how they do your hair, just the energy they put into your hair and just their mood. I feel like, especially where as your hair goes through all the cycles, everything builds up in the lock. I'm just so like conscious of just bad energy and just things just being trapped in my locks. It's like my worst nightmare. So I've been self-maintaining my hair the entire year. Since I think the last time I got a style from my loctician, I'll post a picture here or a video or something here, but the last style I got was I think just before Christmas or just after Christmas. And literally since then, I have been maintaining my own locks. There's been benefits to maintaining my own locks, but there's also been quite a few drawbacks. I feel like it's definitely made me more aware of things with my hair. I used to self-maintain my hair when I was a loose natural. So it's kind of just made me get back into the routine of just what my hair likes, what it doesn't like. I've been changing products quite a lot. I want to say the drawbacks are that it's difficult to wash locks. I miss my loctician washing my hair. I'm not saying that it's difficult, like I can't do it, like I don't get my hair clean, but I definitely miss having second eyes on it, like being able to just make sure, because she used to like really tend to like the lint that might build up, or like if she sees that, okay, there's quite a bit of build up from me using like lotions and sprays or anything like that, she would like take her time and like squeeze through the locks and just make sure everything was coming out. I can't see the back of my head. I don't know what's going on back there. There's definitely more build up. There's definitely more kind of lint in my hair. I need to actually go out tomorrow and buy a brush, like a, what do you call them? Like a hard bristle brush. Just something to like brush out my locks. I used to brush them before, and I don't know why I stopped. It was actually like a routine. If you're uneducated and you come across a lot of videos, there's somebody on Instagram that always comes up on the explore page, and I really hate watching her videos because the things I see her do to locks, and I'm just like it just makes me nervous, and I just feel like there's a lot of like misinformation that goes around when it comes to locks. Your hair does not need product to lock. Your hair locks naturally. As your hair goes through its growth cycles, you shed hair. All of that like traps inside the lock. As long as you just maintain your hair and like, of course, avoid it marrying if that's not the look you're going for, your hair is going to lock. You don't need to add extra product. You don't need to use beeswax. You don't need to use gel. You don't need to use all these butters. You actually need to keep your locks really clean. And a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't keep their locks clean. And then you end up like me, filming a YouTube video on how much buildup you are finding inside your locks. But I'm really trying to get into like a more frequent washing routine. I was washing my hair about every 2 weeks, but I've been recently washing it like every 10 days. I find when I was a loose natural, my hair like really kind of got dirty around 10 days. So I've been trying to like implement that. Self-maintaining my locks has probably been the biggest difference in the last year. I've like really enjoyed it because I've been doing more styles, but also just figuring out how to extend a retwist. I don't actually care if I don't have a retwist. Like I don't have one now, and I'm quite happy to have the puffy roots, especially because I have the length and it's really heavy now, so it does lay down. I did do an ACV rinse, soak, detox, whatever you want to call it. I did one in July and I actually filmed it. It will be up probably within the next week, so definitely subscribe if that's something you want to see, because that was definitely an experience, and I'm really happy I filmed it because I learned so much, and I'm just happy to share that with you guys, or like excited to share that with you. I feel like my light is dying. Oh my god, guys, I'm so sorry. My light died and I was like, I'm not gonna film this anymore. I need it to just be bright again. One thing I wanted to say was, if you haven't already checked out my 2-year visual journey, just with my photos, videos and everything, I really do go through the milestones that I went through. Just as they've gotten much longer, I feel like my hair has become just more fragile, for lack of a better word, just become more fragile at the roots. You know, like if you've ever had relaxed hair, I used to have relaxed hair back in the day, so when I decided I no longer wanted relaxed hair, I actually transitioned, so I grew out my hair. So I had the natural roots with the relaxed hair, and that point, the line of demarcation where my natural hair met my relaxed hair. So similarly in this case, where my regrowth, or my new growth, sorry, meets my lock, or like the bit that's budded and like forming, I just feel like it's really fragile. So if you don't keep it moisturized, or you're just very like rough with it at the roots, I'm finding that I'm getting more breakage at the roots where that happens, especially with my locks that are around the perimeter. The ones in the middle, my hair is like much coilier. I just think it's just stronger, and it tends to actually lock much faster in the middle of my head. I find when I wash my hair, I have less unraveling in the middle, whereas like at least like an inch or two of my hair around the perimeter, it unravels a lot. I don't want to say brittle, I don't even like to use the word fragile, I just feel like it just needs more attention. Of course, self-maintaining, if you're not too familiar with how to retwist, I find that it can be a bit tricky. My preferred method of retwisting is palm rolling. However, I know there's some people that roll it like this within their fingers, and some people prefer to just get the loose hair and wrap it around the actual body of the lock. It's so important to use one of these methods, and sometimes I can just be lazy and just coil it around my finger as a retwist when I shouldn't be doing that, because all of those loose hairs are not budding into the lock, and they're not like attaching to the rest of the lock, which is making it even worse at that line of demarcation. So I think that's another thing I've learned. Just as they get longer, as they get heavier, they just need more attention. Thankfully, I've never had a lock like detach or like fall out or anything like that, but I'm genuinely trying to take more care when it comes to retwisting them and just making sure that I'm palm rolling all the hair in. I do want to learn this method but until then, I'm just gonna keep palm rolling and just making sure I palm roll all the way down the lock. I know I've mentioned it already, but it's definitely probably been the biggest highlight for the last year. Styling my locks has just been the most fun. As you have length, I feel like you have more versatility. I'll also insert a little length check so you can see how long it actually is now. I definitely am kind of excited for my 4th year being locked and just everything that will come with it. However, I'm not gonna lie to you, I have been having consistent dreams of combing them out. I don't know how I've gotten here, but I just think, and I feel like this is just a topic for another video, maybe like an expat diaries video or just like a chit chat or life update, but I just feel like there's a lot of energy at the moment embedded in my locks that I don't want. And I genuinely believe that all the trapped hair, you know, that builds inside the lock just harbors all of this. I had a very transitional year this year of my locks, just from last winter until now, just with like moving and everything else, and I just feel like there's a lot just embedded in my hair right now, and I just kind of want to comb it out, get rid of it. But I definitely want locks, so I think if I was to comb them out, I would restart them anyway. At the moment, I've got my locks. I'm still enjoying them, don't get me wrong, I'm definitely still enjoying them, but I just thought I would mention that because I guess it's part of my 3-year update. If you do have locks and you do feel like locks have a spiritual element to them, let me know what you think. Do you feel like energy can be buried inside locks? Are you particular about, you know, who touches your hair and just the energy that goes into your hair in general? Let me know in the comments, it would be interesting to hear. Otherwise, if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up. If you want to see my 2-year visual journey and my 2-year update on my locks, it will be this video up here. Otherwise, if you just want to see more hair videos, just everything locks, everything my hair, and just styles and everything else, braid outs, all of that good stuff, then it would just be this playlist down here. Otherwise, click this photo of me in the middle to subscribe if you're not already. Stay fierce, stay real, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye.